Oh, fuck.
So, my name is Kieran Quick. I'm an aviation enthusiast. I'm a big rower, and I mean huge, huge rower. And I'm also a long-term frequenter of Isafjordur, where I am right now for the next 6 weeks. And I'm here to talk to you today about your car's extended warranty. So let's talk about the basics. Isafjordur is, well, a fjord, meaning it's surrounded by 3 walls, each are around about 1,000 feet high. And each one has dangers of gigantic falling rocks and huge avalanches. And you can see this as you look at the walls of the fjord. You'll see metal structures to prevent mounds of snow so they don't become avalanches, and giant mounds of dirt around the borders of the town also help to prevent avalanches from reaching the residential population. Now, if you look here, you'll see Isafjordur's airport. It's actually the largest airport in the Westfjords and serves roughly 35,000 people each year across 1,700 flights. Now, most of these flights are operated by Icelandair, who fly Bombardier Q200s up from Reykjavik roughly 2 or 3 times a day. And this isn't the only air traffic that's around. There is another airline called Norðurflug, which sometimes comes, but it's not really regular. And occasionally, an air ambulance will come up to the airport to ferry somebody down to Reykjavik, because the hospital here in Isafjordur isn't the biggest, of course. But the planes run into a problem routinely because the weather of Isafjordur can make it prohibitively hard to land. Speaking of the airport and the air traffic that goes with it, the approach to runway 26, the one facing into the fjord, is remarked upon as one of the most dangerous approaches in the world, simply because the aircraft that fly here have to hug the fjord wall as they approach from the north and essentially turn and descend at the same time to land. And it's a wonderful thing to watch, especially from the ground, but it's even more entertaining from a cockpit perspective. So earlier I mentioned that the weather of Isafjordur can be problematic for airplanes, but if it's so problematic for them, what about people? Well, I'm a person that really likes cold weather, but I still brought a number of layers for protection. Among them are a pair of long johns, rain pants, 2 rain jackets, one for heavy rain and another lightweight one that I can carry for simpler drizzles, 2 pairs of sweatpants, a sweatshirt, a hat, 2 pairs of thick socks, gloves, just in case, shorts. Most of the tourists I see around my daily activities are bundled up like it's a snowstorm, with thick jackets and hats, so take time to consider what you'll need as a tourist. Now, Isafjordur is without a doubt a mess of conditions. You could see beautifully sunny days for a week straight and then a snowstorm the next. More realistically, you'll find that Isafjordur will always be ready to throw some rain your way, and there may be clouds without warning, of course, so a waterproof layer is basically essential. The average summer temperature is around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which I think is perfectly fine, but evidently the tourists think otherwise, and that's why I'm here for 6 weeks instead of back in the oven that is the US. Always, in general, be sure to check the weather report, but be prepared for anything. In my daily routine, I carry my lightweight rain jacket and my rain pants just in case there's a rainstorm in the middle of the day, something like along those lines. Now, it's no secret that Isafjordur is a small town. With only a population of 3,000, Isafjordur is actually the largest town in the Westfjords, hence why it got the airport while other towns didn't. One of the things I love about Isafjordur is its size, actually. Since it's so small, everything is walkable to an extent. I say to an extent because a third of the residential population sits deeper in the fjord and away from the industrial districts. And speaking of the industrial districts, Isafjordur sits at the perfect midway point where there's enough people where you can know everybody personally and see them routinely on a daily basis. But there's also all the major industries here. There's two gas stations, 2 grocery stores, a giant harbor, an airport, a number of businesses here that wouldn't be found in smaller towns. There's honestly no better way to show you the environment of Isafjordur than to go outside and experience it for yourself. But since you're watching this, I will do it for you in the best way possible. A travel montage. Well, that concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed and found that Isafjordur can be a wonderful little quaint town which embodies kind of a retirement style lifestyle, but it's a wonderful, charming city that you should fly, take a cruise to, or just drive up. It's a wonderful thing that is definitely worth detouring. Now, I confess this video wasn't exactly what I expected, but rest assured that next week, in just a few days, I'll have the next episode up on this channel. Next episode will be on the history of Isafjordur. Alright, without further ado, I will see you in the next episode.